Hey there friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today I want to show off my early endgame King Shark build in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League because I've been having a ton of fun with it as I make my way through the invasion levels and also finite crisis progress as well. This build is going to be for you after you complete the story, do those initial endgame activities, get some pieces of the Bane's Rage set, and then decide what you want to do from there. This build is especially useful for farming shields, so it's helpful when you are solo, but also it is very nice for essentially spamming your grenade, melee, as well as your abilities. And so that's why I really like this build a ton, because that's a playstyle that I very much enjoy. Now this build really starts with the Bane's Rage set. If you don't know what they do, this set is phenomenal for generating grenade ammo and essentially spamming them with increased damage, especially when you get Bane's Rage active. Now, you're going to want to use the shotgun, in my opinion, for King Shark because you have punch through, which successful critical reloads with this firearm trigger a stack of frenzy. You can shoot one single shot and then do a critical reload right away. You don't even have to shoot an enemy before you do that critical reload, which I think is very nice. At 3 stacks, you unleash a wave of Venom Frenzy that crazes all enemies within 20 meters. This can only happen once every 45 seconds. So this is going to be how you're going to start every bit of combat. Use your shotgun, get Bane's Rage active, and then you can start using your melee in order to generate some grenades. You can start spamming your grenades at that point, and then once you're using your grenades, you can also start harvesting shields pretty often and mixing in your abilities as well. Now, as far as my other firearm, I am using Black Mask's Bulletstorm. This is just my favorite option at the moment, but you can use any AR or minigun that you like if you have another favorite. This, you'll see in the video, I don't really use it a ton, but it's just another good option, especially if I have enemies that I need to take down at longer ranges. My melee is Riptide. This is especially useful because I'm trying to do as much damage with my Suicide Strike as possible, and this one does really, really well. And then melee hits send enemies flying in slow-mo for 5 seconds, but the melee cooldown is increased by 1 second, which is nice. I'm also using Venom Frenzy for the Affliction Strike as well. I'm using the Chokehold Bane's Rage Grenade, and then with the Venom Frenzy Affliction as well. And this is really nice because I generate shield with every enemy hit with my grenade. So when I'm spamming it in a large group of enemies, I'm regenerating a lot of shield. I'm also gaining Suicide Strike resource as well. As far as my shield mod, I have Hotwire on. This is going to be a large capacity shield, which is really nice, and I'll explain why in a second. Plus, when I am under 50% for my shield, I do 50% increased damage, which is also very nice. Then I've got the Lemurian Curse. Hitting 3 or more enemies with your traversal attack now fully recharges your shield. Again, when I have a really big shield and I can use my traversal to fully regenerate it, it feels really, really good. I'm using the Bane's Rage Neck Bomb as well. This one has plus 50% damage while shield is 100%. So that way I am essentially doing the plus 50% damage regardless of where my shield's at, which is, again, very nice. And then finally, we have Rabbit's Foot. Successful critical reloads increase your critical hit chance by 10% and your critical hit damage by 30%. Obviously, that pairs tremendously with the shotgun as well. As far as the talents, I'm going to just go through all of them real quickly, but the ones that I think are most important, Royal Resurrection. This one, 100% chance to cheat death, is very nice when you are playing solo, and I think it comes in really, really handy overall, so that's why I do like it. And then going on down, let me start here with my Shark Rage, and then we've got Splash Zone, Shotgun Typhoon, Unyielding Hunger, Surf and Turf. Then we got Renewing Blitz, Devastating Bite, Blood in the Water, and then Bullet Feeding Frenzy, and then finally we've got Shark Rage. Moving on, we have the Meat Cleaver, Suicide Strike, Powerful Strikes, Royal Dominion, Royal Resurrection, Top of the Food Chain, Churning Tide, Dominating Strike, and then we've got Wave Breaker, and finally Powerful Strikes as well. And then finally we have Nervous System, Strong Swimmer, Land Shark, Crashing Drop, Streamline, Drop and Destroy, Shark Recuperation. Then we've got Jaws of Life, Squad Ultimate, and Ultimate Shark Strikes. This is going to lead me to have a very fun playstyle where I can use a Suicide Strike, generate a bunch of shields, then use my squad ultimate, and then use another Suicide Strike to regenerate even more shields if I need to. Plus, there's so many ways to get back shields with this build. It really does help out in the end game, and you can do plenty of damage with all your spamming in order to make up for a lack of weapon damage that you might be doing with this build. And that's why I like it so much, because you really don't have to worry about your weapons all that much at all, because your abilities and your grenades and melee are going to do most of the damage, especially when you're shield harvesting. That's one of the things that I think is a bit underrated in this game, is I can essentially make 4, 5, 6 enemies at a time harvestable, so that way I can save them if I am at full shield, but if I'm not, then I can generate those shields and I can do a bunch of damage with the harvest strike as well. So I think that's a playstyle that, again, I like. You'll see it in the gameplay a little bit, where I'm just going from shield strike to shield strike to shield strike, and it's pretty hilarious to watch. Plus, again, I use my Suicide Strikes pretty freely, and then my ultimate as well, because essentially I can get all of that back. This build is not going to be one that is all that great for single bosses. So like a Superman or anything like that may not be as effective against them. It is phenomenal against large groups of ads. It's also really good against the brutes, because at times you can use your Suicide Strike several times in a row to take down entire health bars and hit them with a couple shotgun shots and then proceed from there. And the combination is just hilarious to me. I feel like I am, again, spamming abilities and then grenades and melee constantly. I don't really have to worry about anything else. And there are times when I barely even shoot my shotgun at all. So, again, this build, if you are a fan of this playstyle, feels really tanky, feels really aggressive, a very in-your-face type of playstyle. So if you like to be up close and personal, this is one that I think a lot of people will very much enjoy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you a fan of this build? Are you a fan of King Shark in general? I've heard mixed things. He's probably the least played character in the game right now, which I think is really unfortunate, because I find this playstyle to be absolutely a blast. I know there are reasons to play every other character as well, but for me, King Shark is my favorite at this point by a large portion. So I'm going to keep playing King Shark. I'm going to develop some more builds as I get deeper into Endgame as well. And I'd love to hear from you guys. What is your favorite character? What are you doing in the game? I'm going to let some of the gameplay run as well. My name is Jopa. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll catch you all later.